Good morning, Rashmi.
Good morning, sir. How I address you? Sir, Hemant, coach, how you'll be comfortable?
Coach is fine. Coach is fine. Coach Hemant or coach.
Finally, we could make plan for this meeting.
Yes, that's how it is. Great.
Yes.
So let me introduce myself first, and then I would like to have you also introducing yourself. So I have been a change management consultant for the past 20 years. As part of consulting, I have worked in various countries. Wherever the project is, we have to go. So I worked in Switzerland with World Health Organization, in Malaysia, of course in India, and then several countries in the Middle East, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE. As part of the work life, I've also traveled to a couple of more Gulf countries, as well as several trips to China and Bangladesh to meet suppliers, etc. And all this was part of transformation exercise. Whenever a large organization would undergo transformation, that's where my role would come in as a change manager. So I've been helping organizations through transformation for now 20 years. And that's when I decided that let's use the same. And in doing so, I've been helping people through the transformation. And people would become friends, and we would start talking, and they would discuss their personal challenges, their career challenges. So coaching was happening all through, but I formally then took up a coaching certification and got certified as a life coach. So 20 years of experience across countries, across industries, and so on. So it has helped me work through and help me also help individuals who are facing certain challenges or who have got some big goal to achieve, and they're finding it difficult to like break through and try to achieve it. So that's about me. I'm currently in Dubai, but pretty much spent a large part of my life in Mumbai. So looking forward to again going back to Mumbai. Have spent about 5-6 years in Dubai. I think this is good enough. So over to you, Rashmi. Would like to know about you now.
Thank you, Coach Hemant. Myself, Rashmi Rathi, and born and brought up in Lucknow. My father was working in HEL, Hindustan Natica Limited. So my whole schooling, academic education, been in HEL. And after that, I did my interior design and decoration from Polytechnic for 3 years. And along with that, I started my career as a job for architecture interior in both together, in offices full time. Then when I finished my 5 years, I got married. Husband name is Mr. Amit Kumar Rathi. He is a basically biomedical engineer. But for this currently time, he is in Mauritius. And he's handling all over management administration. He's a facilities manager over there. And I started my journey from Lucknow to Haryana because their native place is Haryana. But being in marriage, I went to Nepal first, in Kathmandu, then some months in Manipal Hospital in Pokhara. And then we transferred to Bangalore, few months, Bangalore to Kolkata, Kolkata to Rajasthan, and then from Rajasthan to here. So we explored so many things. And along with this, I couldn't start my career. I had to be with husband, but he helped me to do MBA in hospital management with digital learning course. Along with that, I did HR specialization.
Okay.
And because of in Mauritius, since 13 years I'm there, and I got the twin children. So 7-8 years, my whole 7-8 years, day and night was with upbringing the kids. So I couldn't focus more what my life targets and all. But being in touch Toastmaster recently, maybe 7 months, and sharEvery, I got again motivated to improve myself, some English speaking skills and leadership, of course. So I'm here, and along with this journey, slowly I'm moving ahead. These opportunities in my life. So this is my all story. Currently living in Mauritius, But for the holidays, vacations, I'm here for 1 month more in Lucknow, and I'll be in more places again. And before coming here, I was in Mumbai 2 days. So I've been 2, 3 places. It was very nice.
Yeah,
Thank you.
great,
Yeah, it was my introduction.
great, great, great. People live in India and go to Mauritius for vacation. You are doing the opposite.
But we
Yes,
come always with families to meet families.
yes, definitely. I mean, we do the same thing. Once or twice a year, we make an India trip for a week or two, spend time with family. That's how it is when you are away from home and home country. You
Yes.
make the best of the available instances. You have a HAL background, and I had a brief stint with HAL as part of a project. I was working with KPMG, and we were doing a project, got associated with HAL, and Bangalore was the location where we had gone. So, yes, something common. Great. Okay. So, good start knowing each other. You have traveled a lot, seen a lot of places, lived in different places. So, that's a very rich experience that you have got. And that is something you should be capitalizing on. Living in so many different places gives you a perspective that most people do not have. Like, I remember when I first stepped out of the country as part of the job and got to stay in Switzerland for 1 year. The just first 2 weeks, in those first 2 weeks, so many of my conceptions about the world, about things, about how environment is, everything was changing. I could see a lot of my beliefs shattering and new ones forming. Mine was opening up to so many things. And then I visit another country and more revelation. Then another country. Oh, this is also possible. That is also possible. Like in India, you don't really expect public transport to be on time. You just wait and they come when they come. In Switzerland in 2005, like 17 years ago, they could predict. I mean, first of all, they did not have to predict. The buses were pretty much almost always on time. And even when they were delayed, they could predict in how much time the bus would come. And for me, it was like mind-boggling. It opened up my mind so much because in India, we are also used to the Indian stretchable time. People get late and we are okay with that. We become insensitive to time in general. So when you actually get exposed to so many different places, different cultures of different places, different people, your perspectives open up. When you interact with different people from different cultures, you learn a lot from them. And I think you should spend some time actually documenting for yourself, not for someone else, but writing down what you have learned from different places and people you have interacted with. Right? This will help you a lot. Whatever be your goals, the change in perspective and the way of looking at things will definitely create an impact for you. Okay, great. So now coming to the mentoring, we are going to have a couple of weeks together on this mentoring coaching journey. Yeah, sure.
Maybe we are learning before as well, but in our daily activity, routine activities, we were so busy. We never thought like if this person is doing this, we can learn. We used to think that we are incomplete. We are complete. Whatever we are doing, it's good. But as been traveling, we have learned so many things, and we are more open to learn. We become cool and calm.
Yes.
We open to learn, and I felt personally I have like created this habit, noticing and focusing. That helping us.
Right. No,
Yes,
absolutely.
thank you, sir.
Very truly said. Okay, so we are going to go through a mentoring coaching journey, and it comes with its own set of, I mean, it's a commitment. It's a commitment that I put in my efforts to mentor you and coach you, but at the same time, it requires a much bigger commitment from you to get mentored and to get coached. Right? If you remember the classic, you need to empty the cup before you begin to fill it. Right? So that openness to receive inputs and your own desire to change yourself, transform yourself, or achieve a goal that you have in mind, that should be very high. You should want that very much so that you can make those efforts. You mentioned that you have come from Mauritius to India on a short visit and you'll be spending time with family and others. So those are definitely a priority. And incidentally, our coaching mentoring journey is happening at the same time. Now, how do you prioritize giving time to this effort is going to be a test for you. Right?
It's
It's a personal battle you will be.
really challenging.
Right, right. So, what we are going to do is over these 4 weeks, we'll go through in a very structured manner. Uh, Today, we will be talking essentially about what your goal is, what you want to achieve, and based on that, we will go forward and look at how do we structure your goals and how do we take it forward. Uh, in terms of commitment and all, I mean, we have our time slots fixed. Maybe once or twice we may have to opt for a different time slot, just like today we had some other commitment in our usual slot, so we change. But once we fix a slot, we honor the time. That's one. Two, between every successive or consecutive meeting, there will be work to do. And it's going to be just a few days. Sometimes it will be 2 days, sometimes it will be 4 days, but that's the time you need to finish that task at. Only so you are cool, calm, and composed, and you're only refining it rather than worrying about trying to do it. The other thing is, these tasks which you will be doing are not very easy or time bound. You can't just sit down and predict that, okay, in the next 1 hour I'll be completing it. They may take more time. They'll take a lot of thinking. You may have to go into the past, think about the future. That is unpredictable time required. Now, if you try to do it at the last day or last minute, you have very little time, and which will impact the quality of the work you put into. I will accept whatever you deliver, but the impact of that is going to be for you and on you. The better the effort you put in, the greater will be your results. So commitment in terms of course, the timeline and the tasks we have at hand will be extremely important. Right? In terms of my style, it will be combination. I can give a lot of inputs and suggestions. So in the last 10-15 minutes, I've already given a couple of suggestions, a couple of inputs to you. That I will do in part. But there is another part where I'll ask a lot of questions. The objective is that you find your answers. Because we have a limited time span we are going to spend together doing this mentoring and coaching. It's like the same thing. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, teach him fishing, and he can feed himself for a lifetime. So through that questioning process, what I'm trying to do is make you think in a certain direction, make you think in different perspectives. Once you get into that habit, you don't really need a mentor or a coach to push you. You can self-propel forward. And then, of course, there will be times when you need some help, which you can't figure out yourself, and then you reach out. But it doesn't happen that without a coach, now, okay, how do I move forward? I don't know. Because you will become equipped to think on your own feet and take things forward yourself. Okay, so that will be the attempt. No guarantees, of course, but that's the attempt. That's the style I'm going to take on. Okay? Works fine? Great. Okay. So, you have a presentation to make today on what your, let's say, what is the topic of your presentation and what is the goal that you have?
Yes, I prepared.
Okay, lovely. So, over to you. You have about 15 minutes, give or take, and let's do that. So, over to you. The stage is yours now.
Thank you so much to giving me this opportunity and to learn more. today's my topic is parenting as its best. Okay, a parent has a massive role in child's development. Knowingly or unknowingly, we all have inherited a habit from our parents. It may be related to culture, habits, cleaning, respecting others, or even eating habits. For example, if we don't follow the proper time guidelines, if we sleep late, wake up late, unhealthy habits, eating unhealthy habits, have bad hygienic, or even we keep the house mess up and working space mess up, our children will do the same thing. They will behave the same, as they will also treat other people or things in the same way. So it's very important because we are the reflection for our children in our future. Whatever we are going to input, we are going to get output. So be careful and be more awareness we should what we are doing in our life. So like mirror, when we see our image in mirror, same children looks image in our physique, and which is why we say that having a child is big responsibility. Like we feel it's a big responsibility, really it's a big responsibility, but we must not take it as a burden. We should do it happily, and if it lead to having a happy and motivated child, and it will be the good for our future. In rest, like I mean to say, like if in our life we respect elder people, we respect our parents, the way we communicate with them, we give answer to them, our child, our future will be the same. And if we do these things, we won't get the warmth atmosphere in our home, because they are our next generation. It affects. And like good habits and good attitude, it's very important, because good attitude, if we have, our children also will get the same things. So we should extremely very conscious and careful on how we raise them. We need to give them a good upbringing. It's just like the law of harvest from the laws, from karma. Like if we are going to plant the cactus, definitely we're going to get the cactus. If we're going to plant the mangoes, we are going to in return mangoes. And if we're going to plant the marigold, we only get the marigold, not we going to get the rose flowers. So same thing, whatever we are input, as I say mentions before, we'll get the same return. It's very important to make a healthy relationship, and to make them positive and more good, we have to be first correct ourselves. And how we raised our kids, it's very important to discuss. First thing, we have to be with their friends, always be their side. In general, practice positive parenting, that is, take a sensitive approach to the child needs and wants, without forgetting the problems that raise in childhood. So all this should be addressed with empathy and respect. Be firm and constant with the kids, but not to be very strict. Because if we'll be strict, we won't give them healthy environment, we won't give them comfortable position or atmosphere. They will not be mingle with us. To mingle with us, to know our kids, it's very important that we should play with them, we should spend time with them. Because sometimes kids have so many talents, and we don't know in which direction we should help them, to nourish them. So when we sit with them, we have to focus on their activities. Like among 10 activities, my kids, in which activity is good. So if we'll guide them, definitely they will groom more, and it will be the good for our future, for our nation, for our house also. So it's very important, give the time, and be friend with them, and just see what they are doing good, what not they doing good. And if you will spend more time with them, we can see that with whom they are making friendship. Are they good friends or not good friends? Because the company also affect them. If we will with them and we know what type of company our children are making, so we can help them to make good friends also. Sometimes we should call friends at home also, so when they talk we can know, we can judge from which type of atmosphere they are coming. Is it healthy environment for our children or not? Second things, if we give them more and more time, they will not go outside to search the comfortable zone. Like with my home, with my daughters, I became very comfortable with them. I give them comfortable zone. So even though sometimes I say go and play with others, they don't like. They want to be with me. They feel very healthy atmosphere with me. I saw in Mauritius, in India, 1,000 families, but I'm blessed that I have this type of atmosphere. The children are very engaged with me, either outdoor activities or indoor activities. They are very happy and feel comfortable with me. So it depends how you are upbringing with them, how you are giving time with them. So it's very important. If you discipline them, you will get in return discipline at home. And for their like physically, I'm telling, the mental development is also very important. Like it's a simple example, if me and a partner, anyone, it goes with anyone, if they are together and whatever problems and whatever challenges if they will share in front of children, it affects their minds, because children hearts and mind is very small. They don't know which type of topic we are discussing and what type of point they should take out. They take as they want. So sometimes it can lead them in a wrong way. So whatever problems, whatever misunderstanding we have, we should be apart with the kids. We should discuss and come in our kids with a good smile. So it's bring the positivity and their mind will be healthy. Sometimes you should make outing with your kids, and whatever they are playing, how they are behaving, we have to be checked. Like if we are taking our kids to play, but really they are sitting and talking with their friends, so we have to be checked and we have to guide them. Whatever time is for particular activity, focus on that. You should run. We have to motivate, maybe their friends too. We have to motivate. Sometimes might be we have to walk with them, we have to be run with them. So everything is depend, and all type of education, habit, nourishment, everything start with our home. Our role as a parents is very important for the children. Like with the teachers, they start schooling, academic education, but to being a good person, to adopt good habits, start with home. That little things, don't leave food in your plate. If you eating, you should keep your plates in the kitchen, and small things, washing their vessels. If you're packing something, make them engage in all the works, so they will be happy and they will feel like we are the part of our home. They will be more responsible, so they will not get enough time to waste the time. For education also, we should sit with them, we should see our kids. If they are lacking in writing, help them, make more practice. If they are lacking in speed, or in maths, in English, in Hindi, or whatever subject they are lacking, we should it's true that they can't be all-rounder in all subjects, but even though according to their knowledge, their skills, we have to be upgrade them. We should always be help them. And we should check their nature as well. When they are happy, you should be happy with them. If they are sad, you should give them happy movement, some playing with them, so they can be happy in their life. So it's very important. Indoor games like sometimes carom, ludo, and singing, listening music, some dance, some cardio exercises, we can be a part of that with them according to their taste. Some children, they don't like singing. So if you sing with them, they are definitely they will not like. So according to their taste and their habits, we have to be with them. And like in our generation, in our time, parents are giving a good food, but somewhere somehow guidance were missing. Maybe we all would have get the good guidance. We could more a step ahead. We could be more a step ahead. But it's okay. Whatever they could do, they did. But we have to be plus more input in it, whatever they are doing. Another important thing is providing encouragement, as I say, physically, mentally, all. We must teach them to be a more confident and like to take certain risks without hesitation. We should never compare our children with other children. We should know what is the capability of our children. Sometimes parents say, see, their children got 99, they got this much, they got IT selection, they got medical selection. So never judge, never compare your children with other children. Might be their parents also different. So it depends person to person inheritance, like how we are. So never judge. Check everything at home, where your children is liking. Always motivate them, because we have to teach them. If less marks or in sports or other activity, might be they are not same level of our whatever we expect them. So always we have to motivate them. That's okay. This time this you will learn, you will do more better, because we all in learning process. We have to tell them that still we are learning. We do mistakes, then we can go ahead. So everybody is learn with their mistakes, and always practice make better. Now we are getting 90%. Maybe if you do more practice, you will focus more. Maybe you can achieve a more. So always we have to motivate them, and we have to teach them the affirmation that we are the super fine, we are super healthy, and you are the best child in the world for me. Really, this positive affirmation, these positive things definitely make them grow. It will take more step ahead. It's very important. Or even if we have weak point also, we have to strengthen them. We have to make ourselves. We have to be ourselves. We have to make strength for them. So it will be very good. Like nowadays, it's our family mistake. We don't give what people want. We don't give time to each other. We don't take lunch or dinner together. It's very important to set a time to sit together and observe how they are behaving. If we do that, it also will help a lot. People will not go outside. Our children will not go outside. They will tell us. So we can make them confident. We can make our home, our life healthy. So nobody will be the patient of, nobody will be suffer the depression. Nowadays, very common thing that everybody is going through the depression, because whatever we don't want, whatever we want in our family, we are not getting. And because of not healthy environment, our children, our partners, our family members, they suppress their feelings. They don't come out of the fear. So that's why the depression is coming out. And parents, like as the male and female, we are going in a wrong direction. If we go wrong direction, how we can correct our children? Because we are the mirror. If we are positive, we are complete, we can make the complete world, complete nation. So it's very important. And if they are open and more vocal with us, only then we'll be able to know how we all are parallelly happy with each other. In this, I want to give one example here. As I say, I believe in karma because I'm in a spiritual journey. Like earlier, my daughter was small. I saw there was one cultural program was going on, and my daughter was 2 year only, and she was seeing the culture program and doing dance down to the stage. One lady was sitting near to me. She put my daughter on the stage, and my daughter did dance without any fear. That time the lady told she will be the best dancer, and really I got the 3-time opportunity, 3 competition. I was behind them according to her interest. I took them, and 3 times she won the Mauritius Dancing Star competition 3 times. And nowadays in return I am getting, because I always used to be with them and help them. As I started to my career and I wanted to improve myself, my skills, out fear of English speaking and the leadership and this communication, she's with me with the IT. She's helping me, and each step she is with me. As I used to motivate her, she's motivating me now. So it's a co-bonding. What I have given, return I'm giving. We should not expect, but in this world, law of attraction, what you harvest, you will receive. So I'm getting in my life. So I want to say the parenting role is very, very important. It is very massive, and it is very healthy role. We should do with the love, affection, not a burden, with the love. So it will create the world healthy also. Thank you so much. Over to you.
I have to clap.
Thank you,
Really,
sir.
nicely presented. Okay, so one question before I give you my feedback and on your presentation. Through this mentoring journey, what do you want to be mentored on? What is your goal? What do you want out of this journey we are going through? I mean, we know it, but I want you to verbalize it. I want you to put it into words and say it aloud. That's important.
Okay, sir. It is my pleasure and blessing that I'm getting this opportunity in my life. First of thing, I have improved a bit. Like I used to make notes, then I used to be in front of people, but I slowly am coming out of the without notes. I'm able to speak, even though I'm able to think more, but it's not the perfection yet. I want to be like more confident, and I don't know how to be more innovative, so I can put more my words in more like with with how to tell, with good vocabulary and more impactful. I want to be a DTM. Like if I have to give this speech, I don't want to be think like so many ideas. I want how I can improve in myself. Of course, leadership also. I want to improve leadership skills, communication skills, and a fear of cameras. And definitely, I want to start my career next year. I want to prepare myself. And as I mentioned in writing that if I get the people like from all over world, USA, UK, and other places, so as action change, it takes too long time to understand all things. So this is my main concern, that I want to be more confident.
Okay, Rashmi. So time for some feedback. So 15 minutes you spoke, and you also mentioned that now you are more confident speaking without notes. Earlier you were very notes dependent. Now you are very confident that you can even go on with your notes. You are able to think while you are speaking. Now that is big. Most speakers are not able to do that. It's only after a certain level of, let's say, adequate skill that you gain, that you get the confidence as well as the skill to think while you speak and actually change the course of your speaking or your speech on the basis of audience reaction or the fresh thoughts which are coming in and so forth. Now, while this is great, there is also a great importance for setting out what you are going to say, put it in a structure, put the whole script in place, and practice. Now, both these things are very important. And let me explain that to you by showing you from the point of view of the 15 minutes talk which you just gave. You talked about parenting, a very important subject, a subject to which most people will be able to relate to, right? And everybody will be able to understand also. The language which you used was very simple. which is good. Of course, you can have, let's say, different words, a better vocabulary, what people call some uncommon words, which probably will impress a few people, some sophisticated words and so on. But if there is a part of the audience which does not understand that one single one in your entire sentence, do you know what happens next? Since they did not understand that one word, they don't understand that sentence. And everything you say after that sentence, they are not able to connect because they did not understand that one sentence. Right? So use of different words or uncommon words is okay, but not necessary. In fact, you need to look at your audience. If you have an audience which is highly educated, most of them are graduates, postgraduates, lived in foreign countries or been in circles where they speak English day in, day out, you could probably use a good vocabulary range and they will understand. But if there is a crowd which is using English as their second language and only for work and not at home and not in their daily lives, and their exposure may not be to very higher education and so on and so forth, the simpler the language, better is the communication, because communication is what you have in your mind needs to be transferred to someone else through the words. If they don't understand even a small part of what you have said, the communication fails. Right? So
Yes.
You talked about improving your vocabulary. It's a good goal, but in order to impress people by your language, you should not compromise on communication. So that's a very important thing. So good thing was today, whatever you said, you pretty much used very commonly used words, which made it very simple to comprehend and understand. You laid out point by point what are the things to be done as a good parent. You gave your examples, right? Examples from your own life, which was a very good thing. Now, the other thing which can be done to enhance the impact of what you are trying to say is reverse the order. In the sense of, you are telling me something to be something which as part of parenting people should be doing, and then you were giving an example. Now flip it. Give the example first, and then from the example you draw the conclusion that, see, from this story or this example, this is what we learned. Now people will also be thinking when you're telling the story, where it is leading to, what is the example, and some of them will actually reach the same conclusion by the time you tell them. So it's a thinking process for your audience also, and it gives you that kind of suspense kind of thing, so people get more engaged. People love stories. People love those examples when they're talking about the story of your child, how she was put on stage and now she's helping you. If that story comes first and then you say, okay, these are the things we learned from it, 1, 2, 3, that would enhance the messaging and I would get it better. A small thing about camera placement, camera has to be at your eye level. So when I'm looking at you, I'm looking straight at the camera, right? See this? Yes, that's the level at which your camera should be at. It should be at your face level, eye level. So
Left and unmanaged, yes.
yes, use books, boxes, containers from the kitchen, whatever, to prop up your device, whether it's a laptop or a phone with a stand. Nobody can see that, but it makes a difference if whether you're looking like this or something like if the camera is up there or down there, and you suddenly, and all the lines start changing around you, right? So it makes a lot of difference. Okay, so that's the other part. Now also try to bring in some humor at some points. Today in the entire 15 minutes, I did not see many patches of humor. So it was a serious conversation happening. So it was great, but humor just enhances a bit, lightens up the mood at certain points. So you don't really have to bring in too many jokes, but a couple of them just to keep the mood changing or swinging. It helps when you are trying to tell a story. See, because what was the objective of that 15-minute talk? The objective is you had a message to give. You had about 5-6 I almost made a note of 6 distinct points and a couple of sub points which you were trying to communicate. At the end of the 15 minutes, it would be great if people remember all of that. Not all the words you spoke, but the key ideas, if they can retain, that will be great. So that's the important part. So examples, camera, grammar. Now that's an important one. The way to improve grammar is, of course, reading a lot, because as you read, you get into the flow of language. Of course, you can learn the rules of grammar and what is a preposition, what is this, what is that. I mean, all the different things which make up grammar. But at the same time, just understanding the flow of words makes it very well. So one is reading a lot, with automatically sentences, your mind will build sentences in automatic mode. You won't have to think about structuring a sentence. It will automatically happen. And the other thing is hearing a lot of English. Good things can be, of course, news readers. A lot of times English movies get recommended. That's a fun way of learning, but language in movies has kind of gone for a toss. So it's no longer a great place to learn English grammar and sentences. Movies are now generally moved to very short sentences and very colloquial or slang language, which does not really help us. News, on the other hand, English news, a BBC or any other English news channel, they have to speak in proper sentences and so on. Don't go for the sensational where the newsreader is shouting and all that, but try to keep it that way. And last but not the least, you have the whole idea in your head on what you're going to speak, and now it needs to be structured properly, right? So you have to begin with a bang. You just started talking about parenting. You could start with a story or an incident which brings out the importance of parenting, because that's how you get your audience interested in it. You're talking about an interaction between a parent and a child, and everybody would be interested, whoever is a parent. And then there is a very sudden or a anticlimactic outcome of that event, of that interaction, something unexpected, and people get hooked into that. And now you have their interest, now you have their attention. And then you introduce the subject that today I'm going to talk about parenting and why it is important and how it can be done. And let me give you a few pointers. And I'm going to share 6 things with you. So in their mind, everybody is ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as you keep telling them, they are registering it in their mind. And once you've done the 6, at the end, do a quick revision, as we used to do in school. Right? You need to remind people what you have told them. So it's almost like tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you have already told them. So first 1 minute, last 1 minute can be, the first few minutes and the last few minutes can be used like this. And in between, your entire speech can get, the subject can get structured through a bit of stories, a bit of humor, and things like that. You have to make it interesting. At no point anybody should feel, okay, it's just the same, I've heard this before, and so on. The stories make it different. See, the pointers on parenting are going to be the same. Right? So now these are a few generic things on language, structuring your presentation, and so on and so forth. Got it? Any questions on any of these things before we move forward?
When I start listening news, I don't understand.
Yes.
Like if I do reading, because I'm telling personally, from 12th education, I was in Hindi medium. Because parents from that background, nobody was there to help me to do homework and all. So whatever we have done, mentally support over there, but guidance missing. So we like 12th education we did in Hindi medium. Now we are focusing, because I got so much challenge to improve English. But now maybe I want personally, so I'm doing. But when I do reading, because I was not a reader at all. But when I start reading, sometimes I engage, but I get lost after 5 lines, 6 lines.
So what are you reading?
Like I have done my MBA. Sometimes I take that book, some spiritually book, sometimes story book also. But I tried all type of books. But I'm engaged myself with 6 or 7 lines. After that, Maybe the same page I keep on repeating, but I don't understand. With the news also, I try to
Okay.
listen, but maybe listening, I'm not much interested in listening. I don't know, but I don't understand. I tried also news. I don't understand. So what
Okay.
can I do in this?
Right. So these are things which needs to be done constantly. You face the difficulty in comprehending because you don't know the language, right? Imagine a 1-year-old child doesn't know language, right? All the child hears is mother, father, grandfather, grandmother, and other people talking, and they're simply absorbing all of that. Nobody's teaching language to the child. Mother tongue is not taught. Mother tongue is absorbed. And then over a period of time, the child sees patterns and the spoken word and connects the sound and the meaning together. Right? It's only after going to school that they start forming words. Before that, it's all sounds for them. Every word is a different sound, and they're just associating sound, meaning, and it also keeps changing. Right? Even at this stage, we also learn like that. If we are trying to learn a language, it might actually go through that phase where we are learning like that. And of course, we then have access to a dictionary or other things. And now dictionaries are like on your phone. There is a word which you don't understand, just put it in the Google and it will tell you the meaning. The word and the word meaning, like there is a word called chiropractor. You don't know what it means. Put the word chiropractor meaning and Google will explain it to you instantly, right on the phone. So listening to the news, and which is why I said news, because the language is well paced and all, so it's not too fast or too difficult to understand, and generally they will try to keep it simple. Okay. English comedy serials in English, they might help because it gets your attention. You might be able to, but you have to choose what is there. Choose if there is something in an Indian English series, because they will talk English also in the Indian style, right? Not too fast, and you will be able to get that. Reading, if you have tried reading fiction, try to pick up books which are meant for teenagers, right? Because those books are written for them. Even books written for, let's say, the age group of 8 to 10. Like my daughter is 8 years old, and I've given her recently Harry Potter's book to read. And I am now realizing Harry Potter is also not very simple for kids her age. There are so many words, meanings where I have to find the meaning of the words. So start with those books. They're simple to read. The idea is not to read some literature and all. It's to read and get the flow of language. That's the important part. Okay. So very quickly, let's spend 5 minutes on, before we meet next time on, let's say, Friday. What are the things you can do? What will you do? So many things which I've said.
No, I want to do so much, but occupying these things really, maybe I can listen some small movies with subtitles, or any comedy serials or comedy cartoons with subtitles. I will try to do it.
Okay. So let's say one movie with English subtitles you will watch. Yes. And now you're constantly connecting sound and the words and trying to understand the meaning also, right? You have to read at least one short story or something.
But book I'm not carrying with me, so on...
easily we can find online, and I'll share something with you.
Please, you share. Okay. Definitely I will read it on daily basis.
Okay. And let me share a short story.
Yeah, if you can suggest to me particular movies like which help me from the basic, so that also you can share me the link. I'll go slowly through it.
True. Another one small thing was the accent which you said. Accent across the globe is very, very different, and hence it is very difficult to completely get used to it. You'll just have to, if there is somebody you are interacting live, you will just have to ask them to slow down a bit. right? That, okay, I'm having a little trouble understanding accent. Could you just slow down a bit? And most people will see. Because I'll tell you, I've been in meetings where you've got Europeans, Australians, and people from the Middle East and Americans. All four of them are speaking English, and suddenly you are wondering what language they are speaking. In one meeting, somebody actually asked another person, "Can you speak in English?" And the person responded, "My dear friend, I am speaking in English." We just couldn't understand, because some parts of the world have got very heavy accent.
Okay.
We feel they are speaking in accent, they feel we are speaking with an accent, right? So it's just the way they've been brought up with the language. So a few short stories I'll share with you, and one movie you need to watch with subtitles. It should be easy to find, but let me see if I can have a suggestion. But at least the short stories I will share with you. In the next meeting, you will actually talk about 5 minutes about the movie. You will actually explain what happened in that movie in 5 minutes. So you need to prepare for that. And the stories, you will create a 1-minute summary of each of the stories that you read. I'll try and send at least a few. So 1 to 2 minutes is what you need to summarize that story in, right? The key idea of the story. Now this will serve two purposes. One, you will be able to shrink a lot of content into a very short time. A whole movie needs to be reduced into 5 minutes. Those stories, which are a couple of pages or maybe 10 pages, you need to do 2 minutes. Now that's an exercise in structuring your speech. What you're going to say, how do you structure it? So that will help a lot. Okay? Sounds good?
So how many stories going to send me, like, after summarized?
I will send
each one day.
About 2 to 3 stories I'll send, because we are meeting again on Friday. So today is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So 4 days you have got. Friday evening we will meet. But let me send, one movie is there and 3 stories I'll share with you.
Okay, sure.
Okay? And remember all these things which I've said today about the whole structure and everything, as well as the camera and how do you present it, and how do you convey the thoughts so that people don't forget.
Yeah, like examples if before, or life stories, personal life stories before, or example, so to connect with the people more, and in between some what called humorous, if we'll add on it will make more impressive. Understood all the points.
Yes. And one thing I really need to make, I really need to comment on before we close the session today. I have seen many people who have gone through English education, right? Not Hindi or any other language education. From their early childhood through college, they have gone through English school and college, and you were speaking better than them. So you have actually grown quite a lot in terms of being primarily educated in Hindi, and you spoke for 15 minutes in English. And while there were a few ups and downs here in terms of grammar, overall I could understand everything without a hitch. Now that's a big leap from being educated in Hindi and then being able to speak for this entire 1 hour in English without really fumbling for words, or without really, okay, what do we say that? And you have actually done a great leap already. Now it's just about polishing all those things, right? The sculpture has taken shape. Now it's about adding the finer touches. Okay?
Sure.
All the best, and we'll meet again on Friday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.